23,000s, indexed to inflation, with a guaranteed survivor benefit. These are real American pensions in 2026. The people who receive them did not, in most cases, make millions during their working years. They made decisions, mostly in their 20s, that 30 or 35 years later would pay them more than most retirement portfolios will safely withdraw. Today, we walk through every pension tier, from the school teacher's $2,800 to the federal judge's $23,000. Vesting timelines, skulls, the lump sum trap, the survivor benefit decision that on average cost widows $180,000. And at the end, why, after 20 years of corporate America walking away from pensions, IBM has just walked back. Vesting at 5-10 years, varying by state, 5 in California, 8 in Texas, 10 in Pennsylvania. Quit at year 4 and 11 months, and you walk with contributions plus interest. No pension. Most teacher pensions use a 2% multiplier times final average salary times years of service. A teacher with 30 years and a $68,000 final salary gets approximately $40,800 a year, about $3,400 a month. In states with 1.5% multipliers, the same teacher gets $2,550 a month. You are 64. 32 years teaching 7th grade English in Ohio. Final salary $74,000. Pension $40,400 a year, or $3,700 a month after the survivor benefit reduction you elected for your husband. The pension covers the condo, the HOA, the car insurance, the groceries, the trip to see the grandchildren. It does not cover the AC replacement coming in 2 years, or the vacation your husband keeps mentioning, the variable that kills retirements without anyone noticing for 10 years. Cal TRS provides 2% simple. Texas TRS provides no annual COLA. Illinois TRS provides 3% compound. Over 25 years, the difference between 3% compound and no COLA is roughly 100% of the original benefit. The mistake most teachers make is electing single life because the monthly check is bigger today. Then dying first, leaving a surviving spouse with Social Security only, and no pension at all. Public safety pensions, police and fire, use 2.5% to 3% multipliers with full retirement after 20 to 25 years. A police officer with 25 years and a $98,000 final salary can retire at 47 with $5,800 a month, indexed to inflation, for life. This is the tier where deferred retirement option programs, drops, become common. The retiree freezes their pension, keeps working 3-5 years, and takes a $200,000, $400,000 lump sum at true retirement. For many municipal employees, drop is the largest financial decision of their career. You are 52, you retired from the fire department 5 years ago, at 47, after 25 years. Pension $5,800 a month, indexed under your municipality's 3% COLA. Your wife works part-time. Combined household income approximately $108,000. You have a side business doing fire safety inspections. 2 days a week, your former captain runs it with you. You are not, in any meaningful sense, retired, but you no longer wear a uniform, and the difference matters. This is the largest decision in this tier. About 60% of retirees who take the drop lump sum spend it down within 10 years, not because they're reckless, but because withdrawing 4% from a $400,000 portfolio while spending it on adult children's emergencies, divorces, and medical costs is statistically very hard. FERS vests at 5 years, eligibility for immediate annuity, minimum retirement age, 57 for those born 1970, with 30 years, age 60 with 20, or age 62 with 5. Formula, high 3 average salary times years of service times multiplier. The standard multiplier is 1%. For employees retiring at 62 plus with 20 plus years, it bumps to 1.1%, a 10% boost on the entire calculation. A federal employee with a $135,000 high 3 and 30 years, retiring at 62, gets $44,550 per year basic FERS annuity. FERS is a 3-legged stool. Basic annuity is 1 leg. Social Security, paid through FICA, unlike older CSRS, is the second. The Thrift Savings Plan with up to 5% matching is the third. Total monthly retirement income for a long career federal professional often lands in the $8,000, $11,000 range. You are 63. Retired last year from a GS-15 position at the Department of Defense. 32 years federal service. High 3 of $172,000. Basic FERS annuity, $60,544. TSP balance $1.4 million. Social Security at 67 will add approximately $42,000. You consult on the side. The work pays $180,000 for 2/3 time. You did not need to consult. You needed something to do. The difference, you realized about 3 months in, was larger than you had anticipated. FERS COLAs are limited compared to Social Security. After 6 CPI if CPI is below 2 capped at 2%, between 2% and 3 CPI minus 1% above 3%. Over 25 years at 3% average inflation, FERS retirees lose 15 to 20% of purchasing power relative to a Social Security or military pension that gets full CPI. Legacy system entered before 2018, vesting at 20 years of active duty. Day 1 of year 19, you have nothing. Day 1 of year 20, you have a lifetime claim that starts immediately upon retirement, regardless of age. Legacy formula: 2.45% per year of service times the highest 36 months of base pay. A retired '06 with 30 years receives 75% of his or her highest 3 years of base pay. In 2026, an '06 with 26 plus YOS has base pay of approximately 13,500 more, producing a retirement check of approximately 10,100 more, indexed to CPI annually. You are 56. Retired 3 years ago after 30 years of Navy service. Retirement pay $10,400 a month index annually to CPI. You also receive TRICARE for life, in absolute dollar terms, worth approximately $400,000 in healthcare costs over a typical retirement. You took a job in defense consulting 6 months after retirement. Pays $310,000. The work is half what it was on active duty, and the conversation around the dinner table is finally a conversation rather than a debrief. Military retirement is one of the few pensions that gets full CPI COLA every year, with no caps. This is the structural reason military retirement is, in present value terms, worth more than equivalent civilian pensions. The inflation protection compounds across a 30-plus year retirement. Federal judges, Article 3 judges, including District Court, Circuit Court, and Supreme Court justices, operate under the Rule of 80. To qualify for full retirement at active salary, age plus years of judicial service must total at least 80, with a minimum of 65 years and 15 years of service. The structure encourages judges to take senior status, a semi-retirement where they keep full salary but reduce caseload, thereby creating vacancies for new appointments. A federal judge satisfying the Rule of 80 retains full active salary as a pension, indexed to congressional pay adjustments. As of 2026, U.S. District Court Judge approximately $246,000. Court of Appeals Judge $260,000. Chief Justice $312,000. Associate Justices $298,000. All translate directly to retirement amount. You are 72. Took senior status at 71 after 19 years on the federal bench. You hear about 25% of a normal caseload. Your pension is your full active salary, $246,000 annually. You write more now than you did as an active judge. Your opinions are longer, more thoroughly footnoted, occasionally cited by the Supreme Court. Your former clerks call you when they have hard cases. 3 are now law professors. 1 is on a state Supreme Court. This trap hits tiers 2, 3, and 4 most aggressively. Sold by life insurance agents, it has cost retirees and their spouses hundreds of thousands of dollars over the past 3 decades. The pitch: instead of electing a survivor benefit, which reduces your pension by 7-12%, you elect single life and use the difference to buy a life insurance policy on yourself. When you die, the insurance pays out tax-free to your spouse. In practice, it almost always fails. The 7 to 12% you save on the survivor benefit is a fixed percentage. The premium on a permanent life policy adjusted for actual mortality is not. By age 75, the premium often exceeds what the survivor benefit would have cost. You can stop paying the premium and the policy lapses. You cannot stop paying the survivor benefit reduction. It's built into the pension. If the pension has a COLA, the survivor benefit grows with it. The life insurance death benefit is fixed. Pension max strategies are sometimes appropriate. Spouse with substantial independent income. Documented health condition limiting life expectancy. Specific estate needs. Outside those cases, the survivor benefit wins by $80,000 to $200,000 across a typical retirement. If a life insurance agent recommends pension max, get a second opinion from a fee-only planner with no commission interest. Why pensions are quietly coming back. In late 2023, IBM EMS announced that effective January 1, 2024, it would replace its 5% 401D, matched with a 5% credit into a retirement benefit account inside the company's legacy pension plan, frozen since 2008. With one announcement, IBM effectively reopened it. The story matters because conditions underneath the corporate pension landscape have changed. Higher interest rates have improved pension plan funded status. Many large companies now have overfunded legacy plans, trapped assets they could not previously deploy. The Center for Retirement Research at Boston College documented that of approximately 100 large companies they study, 27 have closed pension plans with excess assets. But the picture is mixed. In March 2024, 3 months after IBM reopened, Verizon transferred $5.9 billion of pension obligations, covering 56,000 retirees to Prudential and RGA. The retirees did not lose their checks. The checks now come from insurance company group annuity contracts, with a class action suit currently challenging whether the transfer cost retirees their RISA protections and PBGC backstop. The pension story in 2026 is two-sided. Some employers reactivate frozen plans to use trapped assets. Others de-risk out of the pension business entirely. The pension is not, as headlines have suggested, definitively back. But it is no longer definitively gone. 5 tiers, $2,800 for the school teacher with 30 years in the classroom. $5,800 for the firefighter who retired at 47. $8,400 plus Social Security plus TSP for the federal civil servant. $10,400 plus full CPI plus TRICARE for life for the military 06. $20,500 for the federal judge whose pension is the salary he never agreed to leave. None of these tiers were available to most Americans. They were available to people who, in their 20s, made a specific choice to enter a profession where the pay was lower than the private sector alternative, but the back end was guaranteed. They worked for 25 or 30 or 40 years inside an institution that, in exchange for their service, agreed to pay them for the rest of their lives. The pension is mathematically a more efficient delivery of retirement income than any defined contribution plan ever invented, because it pools longevity risk across thousands of participants and removes investment risk from the individual. It worked. For most of these retirees, it worked better than the 401 Zyvident Social Security combination working for their private sector peers. The check arrives every month on the same day, for life. The school teacher knows the day. So does the firefighter, the federal employee, the colonel, the judge. The rest of us are calculating withdrawal rates. Last week, the inverse of today's video. The retirement no employer offers, the one you build for yourself on your own balance sheet with no pension and no employer match. 5 fire tiers. The math, the lifestyle, and the part nobody talks about. What happens to identity when work is no longer required?